And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or D?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, D.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is a year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the cup."
And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. Oh man, I was just looking at the Warrior hockey and seeing how they did today, and man, I got surprised. Hey Brock, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, dude. How you doing, man?
Not bad at all, man. I was just looking at the Warrior hockey. They were playing today. I know they played this morning. I think they also played afternoon game. In the afternoon, didn't do so hot, but the Bravo team. They've been the bright spot. They pulled out a come from behind victory with like a minute to go in the game, right?
Cool. That's right, man. You know what?
One, and Bravo lost or Alpha lost 4-2. But you know what? We support them up there in Blaine, Minnesota. They're a great group of guys. We really appreciate them. I'm not sure if my mic's coming through right or not. It's not coming through. My headphones really good. Yeah, so you're hearing me okay. Yep. Okay. Hey, man. You know what? We need to talk a little bit more about yesterday.
Oh,
right?
No,
I'm sorry. I'm not letting this go because I thought about this a lot. Right. Okay. And I've seen some other stuff, and maybe you've seen something I posted today. The more I thought about this, the more it feels like to me we're victim shamming here. Right. And
okay, yeah, I can see where you're going.
Okay, so I'm about to offend 100,000 people in one statement, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I need to make this correlation, right?
Okay, careful.
Yeah, but it's a legitimate correlation. It really is. When you think about this, right? Everyone is saying he had his head down. It's his fault. Isn't that the same as saying the woman who gets sexually assaulted, it's her fault for dressing too provocative?
No,
it is. It is. You're saying because he did something, it was his fault that he had. I disagree. Okay, let me make another analogy. Isn't it the same as saying the store owner who got robbed because he didn't have a good enough security system?
I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I
okay.
Don't know. I mean, okay.
One more.
Okay.
Didn't?
I'm not trying to
isn't
with you.
Isn't this blaming the guy who goes through a green light and gets hit by a guy running through a red light for not looking to see if the guy was going to run the red light?
I mean, no, but I just got to tell you.
No, it is. You're saying because he had his head down, it's his fault. he got hit and hurt.
No, I didn't. No,
You're-
wait a
no.
minute. I not said it was his fault though. Okay, now that's a different situation. I just said that it was a hockey hit.
Okay.
It was a hard hockey hit. It was a statement. And welcome to the big game, big boy. Welcome to the playoffs.
Okay.
That's all I said. I wasn't trying to
Okay.
make light of it. I get it. And
But
I was maybe insensitive.
You're saying,
on my
but at
part.
the same time, you felt there should be no punishment.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I still don't.
Okay. Again, the reason that you think there should be no punishment is he had his head down. Let's say, no, let me finish. Let's say his head was up and my phone's ringing and I don't know where my phone is. Yeah, so it's in my ear right now. So let's say his head was up and he gets hit with the same amount of force that causes the same injury. Same thing? Is it still a good hockey hit?
Well, I
Heads
mean,
up?
well, I don't know. Like, how can you say it's the league's responsibility for players to watch out? I mean, like, why is it the league's, the refs' responsibility to say, oh, hey, wait a minute, you're about to get creamed into the freaking boards, dude. You might want to duck. No, that's not the way it works, though. That's what I'm just saying.
No.
That's what, I'll be honest with you. Hey, guy, I'll be honest real quick. I get it that what I feel is totally the minority. I've seen Twitter today. I've seen social media. People are way on your side. I get it.
Well, no,
So
I had
trust me,
another. There was a former player today who put out a post, and I can't remember what it was. I know I responded to it, but he sat there and said, the first thing he said just shocked me to death.
Mm-hmm.
The empty net goal wasn't the play. What? Hold on. Stop. The game was a 1-goal game with 30 seconds left. How long does it take to score a goal? 1 second.
Point.
You know what? The Blues learned that lesson the hard way last year in the playoff bubble.
Yep.
They lost a game. They lost 2 games in the last second. Well, they lost 1 game with 0.1.
Yeah.
0.1 on the clock.
Nazem Kadri.
Well, actually 0.01, right? Because they go, no, 0.1. 0.1 on the clock, right?
Nazem Kadri, yeah.
Okay. And then they gave up another game in the last 10 seconds. They ended up giving a goal that would have been a win that turned out to be a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
Or went to overtime and they lost in overtime.
Okay.
It takes 1 second. The play wasn't to leave the puck in the corner and burn time. The play was to make the score 4-2 instead of 3-2.
Okay.
So right then and there, that was the right play. Plain and simple. I'm going to argue that all day long. You tell a goalie, you tell a player that your job is not to score goals. Hold on. It's better. It's better the game is to score more goals than your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
The play is always to score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Ferris is going, and I'm sorry, Evans could have used better situational awareness. He would have given him enough time to prepare to hit better, maybe not went ass over tea kettle. Again, hold on. And everyone is doing this. When you say he should have had his head up and he should have had better situational awareness, you're blaming the victim for the crime.
Mm-hmm.
This is my issue here. The crime is the charge. The charge. Let's look at this.
Okay.
When you look at the charge itself, could the guy that caused the incident have done something different and still been effective? This is what I get. This is where I stop all arguments.
Sure.
You look.
Just a sec. Hey, hold on a second. Real quick.
I know I'm yelling again. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be yelling.
The
I'm
kids
trying.
they chose right now to be real noisy. I'm just trying to.
I'm not
keep
worried.
up with you, so.
No, I get it. But here's
Okay.
where what I'm trying to get at. And I'm sorry I'm getting excited and upset because, we all look, and I kept hearing this when Falk got hit. That Falk hit was perfectly legal. He had his head down. Falk had just taken a shot.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a shot, you look in the area that your shot went. I have never seen anybody take a shot at one point looking somewhere else. True? When you shoot something, you look where you're aiming. Okay? A player that just takes a shot is in. See, this is where I'm going to I don't even want to put your comment up. That is how you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. That is wrong. That is the wrong way of thinking. I'm not even going to put that comment up. In fact, I'm going to delete that comment. And I'm only doing it because I can't delete the comment. Fuck. Man, this is getting me.
Hey, calm down.
No.
Man.
Okay, I am.
Hey, you know what?
All I'm saying is Scheifele could have stuck his stick, and at the point that he takes his hand off the stick, you look where his stick is. If he sticks his stick out, this is it. This is all he's got to do, and puts it on the ice. He stops that goal. He stops that goal.
Yeah,
there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And this was the thing that I thought player safety, and you know I hate player safety, right? This is the thing when I watched that video that player safety really highlighted. The play was not to hit the player, but to stop the puck from entering the net. By sticking his stick out, he would have stopped the puck from entering the net. He in no way, shape, or form intended to stop the puck from entering the net. Okay? Every time that you shoot that puck, where does your head go? Your head goes where you're aiming. Mm-hmm. If his head was down because he was shooting the puck into an empty net, at what point should he have raised his head and not looked at where he was shooting? Hey, Brock, I got no problem with your kids, man. I got no problem with them. In fact, they help.
Sorry. It's just crazy, man. I don't get
it. You know what? I got no issue with your kids. I think they help make the show even better with the noise in the background. It just goes to what we are.
Serious, and trust me, if there was something on Netflix that they wanted to watch, they don't want me yapping. So I get it.
Yeah. I get it. Or at least a teammate could have yelled warning that Scheifele was bearing down on him. You know, and we don't know if that happened or not. And really, there weren't many Montreal guys around him. You know what Scheifele was PO'd about? You know, and this is my problem, that this young kid, this Evans, had beat everybody down there. That was an iced puck, right? That was an iced puck. And Evans beat everybody down there to that puck.
Yeah.
That's Winnipeg's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Not Montreal's. This was Winnipeg's fault. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, Ashley. We really are. But there's some things that got put out today, and I felt I needed to take another stance on this. And we'll end it here very shortly. But I just want I'm asking Brock, and I'm asking, and I already know that Lance isn't going to see my point of view on this.
Sure.
But be careful about victim shamming, because that's exactly what was happening here. And that's exactly what happened with Falk. I cannot tell you the number of people on my thing with Falk and on my thing with on my article about Wilson came off and said, no, it was the victim's fault. Right? Oh, the victim did this. The victim did that.
Mm-hmm.
You are responsible for your stick and your movements or actions on the ice, correct? Well, at that point, if he takes his stick and if he tried to block the shot and still hit him, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah.
To me, at this point, he made a play on the puck. Anytime a player makes a play on the puck, I'm okay with the aftermath.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's where I'm coming with it. And again, it's like we're Monday morning quarterbacking. I mean, the league gave him his 4 games. He has an announcement. You know, fans are hassling his family. It's a Dudley situation. people are just kind of tired of it, and just like Ashley said, just let's move on, let's lesson learn. You know what? But I mean, the league's got to do something about the violence in the game, and I guarantee
this has been the most physical playoffs in decades.
Be the first thing that they do is they do something to the rules to protect players. I guarantee you that's coming down the pike.
I hope so.
The PR is just too bad. The PR is too bad for them. But like I said last night, though, and you and me, we agree to disagree and all stuff, but you got to agree with me this. The league, they're not unhappy that they've been in the top of headline in social media for 3 days now. They're not unhappy about that.
Oh, no, you're right. They're not. Oh, that's better.
So
I had to turn my volume up a little bit, so now I can hear myself.
Both ways, So
yeah, no. Yeah. I get this. I'm not completely against that. E says he was playing the man. That's not what he told player safety. Okay? And I'm sorry, I got to go off the words he told player safety. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I think, I know here, first of all, this is the problem with player safety. The fact that these meetings are private, right? I actually think that the minutes from these meetings shouldn't be private.
Yeah, but they're right. I mean, but
okay. And not only that, I think every single time that they review a play, they should do the same thing they do on a suspension. When there is a suspension, they come out and they absolutely state this. Show the play, show the after effect, show everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's on. He says he didn't hear that. It's if you go to the player safety video, which is on, you can find it on Twitter or you can find it on NHL.com. You will be able to see what is going on with that. He actually said in the video, I was trying to prevent a goal. He wasn't. And they noticed that because he took his hand off his stick and lowered his shoulder. He was not trying to prevent a goal, because if he sticks his stick out and puts it on the ground, he's actually ahead of the play and he could have stopped the wraparound.
Okay, man. All right, dude.
Okay. You're fine. We're done.
Hey,
we're done.
White flag.
I'm answering somebody else's. I'm answering somebody else's question.
All right, I got you, dude. Seriously,
right?
Man.
Don't get so mad at me. But no, I just felt that we needed to continue that conversation when I saw that one today about, oh no, that was the wrong play. Yeah, that just boggled my mind. When is it the wrong play to score a goal? When it's 9-0, maybe?
You know what? Hey, I'm just gonna tell you what, man. The Boston game was insane last night.
Oh, yeah, it was.
The games tonight are gonna be insane. So you know me, I like to turn the page.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Well, let's do that. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game at hand.
You want to do a promo real quick? I know you like to do those.
We got a little time.
Okay.
Let's go ahead, because I'm trying to do them right around the 30-minute mark.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and talk about this. Vegas is at 9:00 tonight, Central Standard Time. Vegas is in, the Avalanche are in Vegas, and they're showing Vegas on the TV right now. I got Pietrangelo on, actually. That's going to be a really, really good game, and it's an important game, right?
Oh, for sure.
I actually think the winner of this game wins the series.
Yeah, probably wins the cup.
Yeah, there's a good chance, right?
Yeah.
This game 3 is so important, and I think it's just as important for Vegas as it is just as important for the Avalanche as it is for Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? I think if Vegas wins this game, the Avalanche are going to be on their heels a little bit, and they haven't been. They haven't lost the game yet. They're 6-0. Mm-hmm. Okay. They haven't been on their heels. They've barely been behind, right? They've barely been behind in this entire playoffs. They were only behind for St. Louis by 7 minutes. That's it. 7 minutes they were in behind.
Wow.
Right? And I think in this series, that's only like 10 or 11 minutes, right? It's not that long. So this game is just as important for the Avalanche as it is for the Knights. And then you have the game that is surprising the crap out of me, Montreal and Winnipeg. I thought Winnipeg was going to win this one. I really did. I felt like it. I felt it would be a good 4-2 score. It's 1-0, and I'll tell you what, Toffoli. I don't know how you say. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, Tyler Toffoli.
What a beautiful shorthanded goal. I originally thought it was tipped. When you look at it, you think maybe, but then you look at it from a different, and you can see he fired that thing top right, top left-hand corner, right?
Wow.
Top left-hand corner.
Hey, did you see and again, I hate to even bring him up, the Rat. The Rat had a killer goal last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Hey, I got 6 points last night. I was happy. I got 6 points last night.
So
I did pretty good.
Him? Did you pick him?
I know. I had a hoe.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And he had 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then in that game, I had the Islanders and Barzell, but I had the score right. Did I have the score? No, I had 2 points for that one because I had I got to look at it again. I think I had 3-1, so I had the one right on somebody. I had 2 points on that one. I got to double check it just to make sure. But I also got I had a hoe for Carolina, and he got me 3 points.
Yeah, you want to say that aho, because when you say aho, it sounds like you're out hoeing.
Yeah, well, whatever. So I had 6 points last night. So let me look at it again just to make sure I didn't screw this up. So I had the Islanders 4-2 with Brazil. I had the Bruins getting 2, right? So I got a point for that, and then I got a point for Brazil because he scored. He was in on the only goal.
Yeah.
And then I knew I had 2, and then I had the Hurricanes 3-1 with a hoe. So I got the Hurricanes. Actually, I took a point away from me. I should have had 4 points because that game Hurricanes scored 3. The score of that was 3-2, right? I actually had 5 points on that one. I missed me a point. So I had 7 points. So I tied for the most points. Actually, a guy that lives here in Hawaii, Tim Henry, he had 7 points and he entered his score first. So he's winning. I talked to him last night. He's going to get a Blues military mystery puck. I'm going to order it today. Right. So that's going to be, the playoffs have been great. They really have, but they've been overtly physical, which I don't mind physical. I don't want to see players getting hurt, Brock.
Sure,
I mean, it simply comes down to that.
Yep.
Right. I don't want to. And you look at the guys that have gotten hurt. I mean, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad with the amount of guys that have gotten hurt, the concussions that guys have suffered, the guys that have been out. The only one that was unavoidable was Tavares, right? Tavares was a simple accident. That was just, a knee and a head being in trying to occupy the same amount of space at the same amount of time.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
That's a good point.
There was no intent. There was no intent there. There was nothing. And I forget who it was that hit him. There was nothing he could have done.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing he could have done. But every other major hit that we've seen was avoidable. Right.
Sure.
The elbow to Bortuzzo, the hit to Falk, this hit to Evans. There's been a couple other ones, the one that took Ryan Reeves out of tonight's game.
Not
right?
Ryan Graves. Adam Graves.
No, Ryan Reeves. Reeves is out tonight.
Reeves. I thought you said Ryan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ryan Reeves is out tonight. But Graves had that hit into the board that what they call it? Roughing hit.
Yeah,
that was a lot more than roughing. That was boarding and should have been a 5-minute major. But that was the headhunting just continues, and that's what it is. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what's going on. It's headhunting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Montreal would come out headhunting, but they haven't. They've come out looking for goals, right? This has been a very tight game, very good game. I'm very impressed with it. Right. Hey guys, I know we're on this, still just on, we're not on Facebook yet, and I'm trying. Once Facebook figures this thing out, and I can get back on Facebook, I'll get back on it, but we really do need to shift to YouTube. I was talking to Jesse today, and I got a big shout out to Jesse. He sent me something today. He said, "Hey dude, I need to talk to you privately." Well, first of all, it took my anxiety up to 1 billion, right? I can't stand when someone says something like that to me.
Yeah.
But he called me and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. Are you doing okay with your issues, right? Your addiction and that."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really was calling me to look out for me.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. And I just wanted to say thank you. And we talked today, hopefully tomorrow. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but hopefully tomorrow you, me, and him can get together and we can do the business meeting we've been trying to do for a month. But
Sure.
yeah. So, that's what we're trying to get done and make happen. So I just want to say a shout out to Jesse for that. Really made me feel good that that's what he wanted and that he went in that direction. So I appreciated that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It's good to know that people are looking out for you, because sometimes I don't feel like it. And I know you've talked to me about, sometimes you don't feel like anybody's looking out for you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and that's just the way it goes sometimes.
I tell you, especially being in the social media game, because there's so many haters and people just pop up and they really hurt your self-esteem. They really make you feel like crap. But you know what?
Yep.
You got to kind of really, just shift it to the side and just be dedicated to the work, is what you and I do, and
Yep. And I've gotten so much better at ignoring dumb comments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I really have. I used to see comments and want to just, keyboard warrior it right away. Now I just let it go. Unless it's one of them that's, something that you can get a debate, a good debate going.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's just out there to be infuriating, I let it go. It did no sense. Mm-hmm. But to have somebody debate, like with the Berube article, right? That was the one that really, but once I got into some debate with guys, I really seen how important it was to bring that out. And your article, I got to tell you, man, I've gotten so many good comments about your article on Dimitra.
Cool,
if you have not read that, you need to go look at that. And I'm sorry, Brock, I'm going to do a little bit of this.
Hey, man, I got you. I don't expect anything else.
Well, oh man, that's mean. No, I think that is the perfect example of teamwork.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
So can I just tell a story? Can I tell a story real quick? Can I tell a story?
Go ahead.
So,
yeah.
So, obviously you and I have been writing for a little while, and I think early on we had a kind of an assignment where we were looking at, I think it was after Bobby Plager died, and we were looking at who are the greatest Blues, and all kinds of great names were coming up, Brad Hull and Al McGinnis, and, you just name it. They were just really, really, and I just thought, man, I'll tell you what, the guy that's missing from the list is, for me, it's Pavel Dimitra. Again, I just really love the guy. I thought he was a great player. But he wouldn't really fit into like a Hall of Fame type of player. Like, he wouldn't really be like a Blue Jacket type of guy.
He was in the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? At the time, I remember that he carried a big load for the Blues because he was their scorer. They were always coming up short in the playoffs. They were running up against like the Detroit Red Wings, or they just always had a rough go. And Dimitra really wore it on his sleeve, really took it personally. And I think, just always in his interviews, his demeanor was always professional, but you could tell it really hurt him to talk about losing. That wasn't what he liked to do. So, again, I was like, I'm not going to participate in it, whatever. And he said, oh, come on, you need to do something. So I ended up putting something together. And it was just, I don't want to say it's thrown together. It wasn't like that because I did put some thought into it. But, it was like, it didn't really connect to anything. So that's when it just kind of sat in the queue for a few weeks. And at that point, I'll let you pick up the story.
Yeah. So when I first read it, I was like, I don't know. This doesn't feel right to me. It feels like we were just taking it felt like we were capitalizing on a negative moment. And I didn't want that. So you asked me about it and I said, I'm going to shelve this for a little bit and let me think on it. And you gave me that right. And I appreciate that because you could have pulled that back and sent it to Hockey Writers or one of your other ones, but you didn't. You let me sit in it. And
they rejected it too.
Okay. So, but and then I said, as we were talking about, I said, you know what? With Perron just hitting that point per game, that connects to Dimitra.
Yeah.
That's got to be part of this. And I said, you're talking about a crash. And I'm thinking, how can you talk about a crash and not talk about Bobby or Gassoff?
Mm-hmm.
So I told you, I wanted you to take some time, go back, and when things settle, look at it again, but make some connections there, right? Mm-hmm. And you finally, when you did, I got it, and I added a few things that, I put a few things in there just to kind of connect it a little bit better. But overall, when you gave it to me, I was stunned. I was like, okay, this is what I wanted. And this is what I want everyone to understand. Why are we talking about this? Because this is what the fan report is all about.
Yep.
Right? We don't just knock somebody down and say we don't want that. If I send an article back, it's because I know the writer can give me something awesome, something powerful, something that needs to be said in the way it needs to be said. And I know Brock can do better. So, and I give Brock credit for not going, F him, what's he think? I thought it was just fine the way it was. He listened, and this is what the fan report is all about. Right?
Sure.
And no, that article came out great. So, hey, everybody, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, coming to you live on YouTube and Twitter. And we're brought to you today by War Stories Coffee, Mike Zook Enterprises, and Forrest Crump Enterprises. Want more information about those great services? Check out stlfanreport.com and check on our advertisers and our sponsors. Also, if you want to read some of these articles that we're talking about, check out stlfanreport.com. It's where you'll find it all. I'm joined today by my buddy and co-host, Mr. Brock Banner from the Hockey Writers, Ringside Media, and stlfanreport.com.
Yep.
We're talking hockey.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Well, no, we are. Right? No, I'll tell you what. This game right now, it's 17 to go in the third, 17:48, and it's 1-0 Montreal. Montreal came to play. If you thought Montreal was a 4-seeded team, you were wrong. They're not a 4-seeded team. They came to play, and they're showing it. They have not trailed since game 5 of the first round.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So you think about that now, and you talk about the possibility of the unstoppable object and the immovable, or unstoppable force and the immovable the unstoppable force and the immovable object. I see a collision. I see a possible collision course right here. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I see the avalanche. I see the avalanche as that immovable object. Right. The avalanche are going there, but I'm starting to see Montreal as that impossible, or the force, the unstoppable force.
I said last night, I'm still not sold on Montreal. I mean, I'm kind of, and again, I love them. I love Montreal. Yeah. I hope they do well, but there's just something about it. Maybe they're still a young team. They do have a couple. They got old veterans though. They got Corey Perry.
They got some they've got cup experience on that team.
Yeah.
And I think that's starting. They brought in, and I talked to the Happy Hour at the beginning of the season. They brought in Edmondson, Allen, and Perry. Mm-hmm. That's rings, right? Perry has 2 with the Ducks, right? Or the Kings, I think. The Ducks. I think he's got 1 or 2 with the Ducks. Yeah. Right? You got Edmondson and Allen, who got theirs with the Blues. And Edmondson was a very big part of the Blues defense.
Yeah.
I mean, he played bottom or middle and bottom 6, right?
Yep.
I mean, he was second and third line, our second and third defensive pair, so he played right in there. He knew what he was doing. This Montreal team has some knowledge, and you know what? I think that knowledge got them through from 3-1 down. Right? I think that Perry was a big force on that. I know Edmondson was played into that a little bit. Oh, look who we got here, Miss Katrina. Hey, Katrina, aloha! Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. So no, I think Montreal, like I said, I think they're becoming that unstoppable force. I didn't say they were it yet, but I think they're becoming it, right? They win this game and go up 2-0 with 2 games at home. That's going to be a huge task. And now Winnipeg's going on the on the power play. So, right, Shea Weber. See, there's another name. There's a big name there.
Yep.
And then Price is finally proving why he's worth $10 million.
Yep.
All right, and why he's the only $10 million guy still in the playoffs.
Sure.
Right.
There's an interesting story about the Canadians that maybe a lot of people don't remember, that there's a player named Drouin, and he actually mid-season decided for his mental health that he needed to take a step away from the game. And really was controversial, and I think a lot of people kind of gave him a lot of trouble about it. And yeah, I know in Twitter, in the Twitter world, there's a lot of talk about it. And I'm not sure if he's back, but I think the team kind of took that as a rallying cry and said, we want to win it for this guy. He's one of us, and I think those kind of situations can really bring together a veteran team like Montreal,
Yeah, no, you're right. And this is something that is, and I'm going to use the word invading, but that's not the right word. This is something that's coming into sports that really is you're starting to understand it now a lot more, is the mental health of the player, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you ever looked at the baseball players of the 60s and 70s, right? Have you seen that movie 61 with the Nationals?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay. That movie, and I got to give Billy Crystal a lot of credit. First of all, he's a huge baseball fan, huge Yankees fan.
Sure.
Right? And that's fine. But he started delving into the mental side, the mental illness side of that game because, and I can't think of his name, Barry Pepper, who played him, his hair coming out, right?
Mickey Mantle.
No, not Mickey Mantle, the other guy, the guy that hit 61.
Roger Maris.
Maris, right? Maris having the issue from the stress of his hair coming out. Mm-hmm. And then Mantle with taking that shot that got affected, that was, had the skin eaten away. Yeah. Mentally, Mantle was, neither one of these guys were there. They were losing it, and he got into it. And this is in the 60s when these guys drank and smoked and, did all this stuff. Yeah. So for us now, and then you look at Robert Lanier, right? I mean, what he did with, I think it was the Islanders. Hey, I need to back off. I'm bipolar.
Was that with Vegas, or that was with Cal?
No, that was before Vegas. This was this is way before Vegas. Wow, he was with the Islanders, and he told the Islanders, like at the middle or beginning part of the season, that he'd been diagnosed as bipolar, and he was going to leave the team. And he told the team that, and he told the locker room that, and they rallied around him, right? And said, no, you don't leave the team. We'll take care of you. We'll get you. They worked with him until he was comfortable to play. And he came out and said, yes, I'm bipolar. Well, he got signed by Chicago after he said this, which was surprising to me because Chicago is not a team that deals with locker room issues well at all.
Sure.
Right. They have that reputation. If you're a locker room issue, and our Nimri Perrin is one of those, right? I mean, you look at this guy with a superstar, yet they let him go. They let him go because he was being a superstar in the locker room, and they didn't like that. Yeah. Right. So they're not a team that deals with that, yet they take this guy and then they trade him to Vegas. And that was a huge trade, trading him to Vegas. Right. And now in Vegas, he's not the guy, but he's the guy's guy. And it's working. It really is. I like the guy. I like what he's doing. I understand mental illness more than I ever thought I would. Yeah. And to see things like that, it impresses me. It really does. And I'm very happy that the league is looking at that and that, especially, Bergeron left the game because of mental illness. You know what? I can't do this. I cannot play this. physically and mentally, I cannot handle what's going on here in Buffalo.
Yep.
Right. And not only that, Ryan O'Reilly made the statement, I had lost my love for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Here's a guy that has been at the top of the game, right? Even then in Buffalo, he was still a top player saying, I've lost my love for the game. That means a lot for him to get that new start. And I'll never forget what he said on the phone. Now let's go win a cup. Mm-hmm. We got him the day of the trade deadline, or the day of the trade, free agency opened up. We get him right away. And the first words out of his mouth are, let's go win a cup. And then he backed it up. Right. And I am very, very happy with what he's doing and how he's doing. I absolutely believe that. Katrina's well said. And I appreciate that, Katrina. I appreciate that. I really do. And I got to say something real quick. I call Katrina the Russian cat. Right. And I've heard some things. I've heard, why do you do that? I asked Katrina before I gave her that name if it was okay.
Yeah.
I absolutely asked her that name, and she said, yes, I don't mind that. So anybody who thinks that I'm being sexist with that name, I made sure before I used that name that she was okay with it. And the same thing with Boston Cat. I asked her. I don't throw a nickname out unless I ask first. And that's absolutely, speak of Boston Cat. Speak of Boston Cat. Right? There we go.
We asked her to come on the show.
Yeah, I sent her a link. I don't know. She goes, true story. Don't worry, guys. And that's just all I want to say. I'm telling you. Do you mind if I talk about the company for a few minutes, Brock?
No, sure, man.
Right? No. I know this is hockey, but you know what? It's still a company. It's still a job, right? And you and me, while it's an unpaying job right now, it's still our job. It's what we take very seriously. I have worked for some of the worst people in the world. My time in the military, I kept, everyone kept saying, who was your mentor? I said, no, I had tormentors, right? My 20 years were not great 20 years, okay? They weren't. Part of it my fault, part of it other people's fault. That truth lies somewhere in the middle. I could have been a better sailor. They could have been better leaders. Goes both ways.
Yeah.
Then in the civilian world, I have worked for people that had absolutely no clue how to treat people. And now that I'm out of that world and I'm in my own, I'm in a position where I own a company that I started. I gotta look at who I am as a person and as a leader. And I want a company where when I ask somebody to do something, they don't want to do it because they were asked to do it. They want to do it because they respect what the company's trying to do, and they want to put their all into it. And I'm not going to get that unless I respect each and every person. And I think that I have done a decent job of that. I have tried to do a decent job of that. And I think that when we understand as individuals that we are much stronger together than we ever are apart, we become a very good, very strong company.
Yeah, I agree.
Fan Report Media Group will one day be a group similar to the Hockey Writers and the Athletic. That is my goal. We are going to get there. We're going to get there. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next season. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But we have an understanding of what it takes to get there. And we have a love for what we do. And we have a love for writing and for telling stories that goes beyond what I think other ones do.
Yep.
Right. And when you read an article by the Fan Report, the last thing I want you to think you read is an article. I want you to think you read a story about what happened and you were able to picture what the author was talking about. I am, and you know, I translate this somewhat to Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson is a guy who sees music, right? He sees it in colors, right? When you play music, he sees colors. There's a name for it. There are some people that when they read a story, they can actually visualize themselves in the story, almost like in daydreaming. I'm one of those people. I tell the story I don't know if you've ever read the book The Key, spelled CEY. It was written in the 50s, I think. It was about World War II, about a container ship, passenger ship that gets torpedoed, and this young white boy and this older black man get stranded on an island, right? The white boy loses his sight. The black man ends up, dying. Timothy ends up dying. And this blind kid has to go diving in this hole for lobsters to eat, right? Diving in this pool. Well, there's a moray eel that lives in this pool. And at one point, the moray eel comes out and bites his hand. Well, this is the second or third time that I'd read that book. And as soon as I'd read that part where he bit his hand, I threw the book. And felt the stung in my hand. That's what I want when I write something, that you feel that passion that I feel when I'm talking about it. Does that make a little bit of sense about now when you read my writing?
For sure, exactly. Because the first thing, if you can, and you and I talk, like I was a newspaper reporter when I was 18 years old, just right out of high school, basically, and been writing. So I don't claim to know it all, though. And even some really accomplished writers, the first thing I'll tell you is like, you need to take a step away from your writing, let someone else look at it, and then come back into it fresh eyes. Big trick that I do is if I get a block and I'm not thinking straight, I go to bed. I wake up the next day and I just, I'll just tackle it with a fresh mind, because if you're tired, you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to come up with good ideas. So.
No, and that's kind of what that's what I did with the Department of Player Safety. Or no, the Tarasenko article.
Yep.
Tarasenko. I wrote the first paragraph and then went to bed and then came back. I can tell a story that way, just can't write it out. I can visualize, speak my ideas, just can't seem to put it on paper. Ashley, it's not easy.
It's not.
Trust me, it's not easy. But what I was getting at, and so for me, the Hockey Warriors article, man, I'll tell you what, I've never written something. I think the closest thing that I've written to that is How Hockey Saved Me about Brett Hull. But when I wrote that, Brock, you remember talking to me.
Yeah,
it was 2:30 in the morning, my time, 1:30 in the morning. It was just now hitting the time when people in St. Louis were waking up and seeing the article. I was shaking in my boots, man. I couldn't sleep. I laid on the couch. I was so afraid that they were going to hate what I wrote. They weren't going to like the quotes that I used. They weren't going to like, that I didn't sell them right. There were all these things that I was so concerned about. And that's just what I want to put out. And the reason I'm telling everybody this, it's not that it's not that we want you to understand what we're trying to bring to the table every single episode.
Yeah.
We're showing
out there,
we're doing the fan report. We're doing the BlueNote fan report 6 days a week, every night at 8 p.m. And we're trying to get them uploaded on audio. I'm having some issues with that, but I'm getting there, right? And Brock's trying to break some of them down to put a little 1-2 minute clips together. We're working on that. It's taking some time, but we're learning. But we want you to know what we're going to try and bring to the table 6 days a week from now until hockey hits again. Right now, maybe once hockey's over, once the Stanley Cup Finals is over, depending on where we're at in baseball, we may go to 3 times a week or something like that. But we're still going to be here for you. We're going to be that guy. We're going to be that news source for you, and that's the news source that we want to be. Ashley says, "Oh, that makes me sad because I enjoy everything I've read from you guys." I appreciate that, Ashley. But the things that I write, I have, and you can ask Brock this. I think it's the worst thing ever, and that he's going to hate everyone who reads it's going to hate it. And that's why it's so hard for me to write. That's part of that mental challenge of the disability I have that comes with it. This Gershwin syndrome, that it forces your mind to make it painful for you to write. And it's not just, physically writing. It's the act of the words coming from your brain to paper. Because you look at your brain and you think, oh man, there's 100 or there's 2,000, 3,000 words there. And you type them all out and it's 150. You're going, I'm done.
What? Yeah.
What happened there? So it's it. So Katrina says I have that issue too, and that's what we work on. That's why we work together. That's why we're. I want my company, and I say my company. I want this company to be different. And I think you saw that right from the beginning, Brock.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to tell people, like, a lot of people are like, well, how did you guys even meet? I mean, we actually met kind of on the BlueNote fan report, or the BlueNote lounge. I'm sorry, the Blues lounge. Yeah. You would make comments, I would make comments, and then we'd start recognizing each other. And then we put out an ad, said, hey, I'm looking for some people who like to write. And I was like, hey, man, I like to write, and like, I like to write, me. And,
Yeah. No, but that's all it takes.
But the thing is for me, that was the key that unlocked it, that really opened up a passion that I've always had. I just have never really, been like recognized for it. So even just doing the podcast with you, with just some of the fans, like, I really love that. That's my fuel. I really appreciate. Oh no,
it does. It has a lot, and we have a good, solid core base, right? If we were on YouTube right now, or not on Facebook right now, we'd have 15 to 20 people watching us regularly. We would be ahead of most other casts that are doing this, right? We were at the forefront of doing this, and that's fine. I don't care if people copy me. That's great. They can do whatever they want, but we're going to be different in that we're going to always involve the fan in the way the fan wants to be involved. And that's what it's all about.
That's what we want to do. Exactly.
Yeah. Right. This Montreal game, man, I would be surprised if Winnipeg scores. I could see this being 1-0, and I'm going to hate it because I thought Winnipeg would win this one, but I'm telling you, Montreal is playing to win. They've got a chip on their shoulder, and that's how they're playing. I think it's great. I love it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show, because we get to talk about the game. We get to talk about the Vegas Avalanche game, and then I think we got 2 games tomorrow too, right?
Boston, New York, and
Carolina, Tampa Bay. Yeah, right. Carolina is at 4 Eastern, so that's like 11 my time. Okay, guys, so this is for you. You got to get your picks in early for this, because 4 p.m. Eastern, that means when puck drops at 4 o'clock Eastern, which I think is 11 o'clock my time, the forum closes. And then the Boston Islanders game is at 6:15 Central Time. So 3 Central tomorrow is when you got to have your picks in. So what I will do, once we're done here, I will try and get that form up within, say, the next 30 minutes to an hour. So you guys can start getting your picks in. But we're going to pick all the games from here on out. I want to give everybody who's had almost no what do you call it? No points so far, a chance to catch up, right? Because, I mean, you catch one big game, someone could have easily picked up 10, 15 points yesterday. Easily. Gotten some really major points. The other guy that got 7 got the first game right, but got no points. So had he gotten, or the second game right, had he gotten that right and picked a hole, that'd have been 7 points right there. Plus he could have picked up another 4, 5, 6 points. So right there, you could have picked up 11 points in one game. That easy.
Yeah, it's great.
Roland had me join the Hawaii Blues page and then yelled at me for not watching the YouTube show. So shut him up. I watched before the live shows. And then I thought, hey, Hey, guys, pretty cool. Well, I appreciate that, Ashley.
Thanks,
I really do. Katrina says I need to read more news before deciding. I'm not sure what you're deciding on there. Katrina, you kind of got me lost a little bit on that one. Well, hey, we're almost done with today's show. What do you think? Good show today, bud?
Yeah, fun. I'll tell you what. I mean, and I even sent you a text before the show. I was like, I cannot talk about the Mark Scheifele thing anymore. Like, I'm totally done with it. And of course, the very first thing is, we got to talk about Mark Scheifele. I was like,
oh, the score for the contest. Okay, that's what she's talking about, right? Well, I will get the score. I will get the sheet for tomorrow out very shortly. In fact, as soon as we're done here, I'll try and do it. It takes me about 10 minutes to set it up, right? To do it all. And I usually wait but since this is an early game, I'm going to get it out early tonight so you guys can get in there and get it. Also, we're working on using your emails to email you a reminder about the form.
Cool.
So we're trying that. We're working on that. I talked to Jesse about that today. We're doing our best, guys. Yeah. We really are. I really want this contest to kick off because I think, first of all, the contest is fun. Second, it does something interesting. It helps you watch the game better, right? It really gives you an idea and an understanding of the game. You just can't pick the best player in the game. You got to look at who they're playing. Well, is this a team that could take that player out? Okay, if they take that player out, what about this? What about that? So there's all these other things, and that's what I want from this contest is that help you guys become better hockey fans.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it is. I seen something today. Oh, I'm a Washington Caps fan, and when they're out, I don't watch hockey anymore. Well, you're not a hockey fan to me then.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not really a Capitals fan because if you were a true Capitals fan, you'd want to know as much as you can about every team they play.
Yeah.
And that's why I cover so many teams because I want to know so much about the teams the Blues play. And when we get in the Central Division, oh, man, this is not going to be a walk in the park. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, the brand new Central Division will be the toughest division in hockey next season. Right? We have no cupcakes in that division. None. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. You think about it. Dallas. Predators. Yeah. Dallas, Predators, Blues,
Chicago,
Blackhawks, Wild,
Winnipeg,
Avalanche, Jets.
Yep.
Yeah, Jets and the Coyotes.
Wow.
There's no easy team in that.
Yep.
Connor Garland scored in the Worlds. And that's actually for all you guys that really want to watch some good hockey tomorrow, your time, I think it's 6:15 tomorrow morning on the NHL Network is USA Canada in the semifinals of the World.
Yeah.
Right? That is going to be huge game. Canada, who's had a horrible tournament, took out number 1 seed Russia 2-1 in OT. Mm-hmm. Right? Tarasenko didn't get any points, so he ended up playing 3 games for Russia. Right? He ended up playing 3 games, got 2 points, I think it was. He had an assist and then scored in a shootout winner. Okay, he got 3 extra games on him. So I'm kind of glad now he gets some time when he gets back, he'll get some time to rest and start getting ready for the season. And I'm going to reach out to his agent, see if I can finally get him on the show.
There you go.
I'm gonna call his agent. I know his agent pretty well. Well, I won't say pretty well. I know him. I've talked to him before. I know who he is. He knows when, his number's in my phone and he answers my phone calls. So that's all I got to say about that.
Half the battle.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I know we didn't talk a lot of hockey today, and that's fine because sometimes you got to talk about what's important. And today, talking about the hit, talking about the show, talking about our aspirations, that's hockey, right? It's all about that. And that's why we are moving in a much better direction, Brock. I got to tell you, I'm excited for the future for us.
Yeah, I am too.
Right?
I just got to say, the thing that I'm not excited about is when these people stiff us when we offer them to come on the show and they don't show up. And you know who I'm talking to.
I'm not worried about it. I've gotten stiff so many times. It's not even funny. Right. And I've gotten I've gotten stiff from some pretty. I won't say who stiffed me, but I got stiff from somebody pretty high up there. So yeah, so that's how it goes. And hockey is for everyone. It doesn't matter. And this is our show, whether you like it, whether you don't. It's all debate. It's all talk. Yep. It's all what we know and what we love. And there's nothing better than this. And I love I started doing this by myself, and that was hard to do. And I honestly didn't want to co-host. I didn't. Right? I didn't want.
You fell in love with me, didn't you, man? They all do.
But what it is I don't feel like you're a co-host. I feel like you're a partner.
Right?
But at the same time, you don't I'm so worried when you get a co-host, like you lose your identity. Mm-hmm. I went on a show with Brock on it. Okay, Ashley, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, you and Brock.
I'm afraid.
Come on. I absolutely want that.
I'm afraid she's going to tear me up.
Oh, let her. I want that. It'd be nice to be 2-on-1 for a change.
Ooh.
Ashley, if you can come on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, let me know. I'll send you the link and we'll come on and we'll go from there. Hey, guys.
I'm sick today. Yeah. Oh, I get sick.
Yeah, me and hitting the wrong button again. Okay, guys. It is that time. I absolutely love each and every one of you. And yes, Ashley, you've got the invitation. You want to come on? Come on. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Brock, the banner from Rinkside Media, and the Hockey Writers, saying aloha, mahalo. You got to know we're bleeding blue with you, and we cannot wait to see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha. Da-da-da.